Migration is very common in the animal kingdom. Birds, sharks, whales, gnus and sea turtles are some of the most famous examples of animals that travel thousands of kilometers each year. The reasons for it are to reproduce, to feed, to escape unfavorable climate conditions, or a combination of all three. One animal you wouldn't necessarily think is capable of such long-distance migration is the butterfly. Certainly one of the most beautiful insects, butterflies aren't exactly known for their flying skills. In comparison to bees or dragonflies, their motor skills seem rather rudimentary. The fact that these fragile little animals go on a journey every year, at the end of which they will have traveled up to 15,000 kilometers, seems paradoxical, but that's exactly what a handful of species do. The most well-known examples are the North American monarch and the European painted lady. Monarchs spend the summer in Northern America. Every autumn, however, they embark on an up to 4,500 km long voyage south to overwinter in the mountains of central Mexico. The painted ladies in Europe embark on an even more astonishing journey. From their summer habitat in northern Europe that spans as far as the Arctic Circle in northern Norway, they undertake long-range migratory flights to northern, sometimes even to the tropics of Central Africa, and back. On this up to 15,000 km long round trip, they not only overfly the on average 2,000 meter high Alps, but also cross the combined hazards of the Mediterranean Sea and the Sahara, where temperatures during the day can reach 50 degrees Celsius and above. This difficult journey is, however, not only a story of how even the small are capable of great things, but also a story of self-sacrifice for the greater goal. That is because no butterfly that heads south in the fall will ever return. It's their children's grandchildren and great-grandchildren that return in the following spring. In case of the monarch, the round trip is done by a succession of as many as 4 generations of butterflies. In case of the painted lady, it's up to 6 generations. The first generation of monarchs that emerge all over the northern United States and southern Canada in late summer will usually begin to migrate at the end of August. Unlike most other insects in temperate climates, monarchs cannot survive a long cold winter. Instead, they opt to migrate to overwintering sites in the south. The factors that trigger this event are shorter days, cooler air, and a decreasing host plant quality. A few of these sites can be found in California and Florida, but for the majority of monarchs, the destination are a few very specific mountaintops in central Mexico, up to 4,500 kilometers away. Thermally stable and frost-free, they are ideal for their winter survival. Amazingly, millions of monarchs from all corners of North America fly to exactly these winter roosts. How they all end up in this very small area in the mountains that neither they nor their parents have ever seen before is still not well understood. It is speculated that they either use celestial cues, like the sun, moon or stars, the Earth's magnetic field, or a form of instinctive or genetic memory that allows them to recognize landmarks they have never seen before, like mountain ranges or bodies of water. To even accomplish this feat, the butterflies purposefully utilize favorable air currents in the upper atmosphere. In order to do this, monarchs ride columns of rising air, called thermals, to ascend to 1 kilometer or higher into the sky. Some individuals have been seen by pilots at altitudes of over 3 kilometers. The strong winds at these altitudes allow the butterflies to reach speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour, which makes the journey to Mexico possible in the first place. Once there, they spend the winter months hibernating in trees. Like leaves, they cluster together, covering whole tree trunks and branches, sometimes as many as 10,000 per tree. Although scientists knew about these migrations for over 100 years, it was only discovered in 1975 where exactly the monarchs vanish to every fall. When the spring returns and the days grow longer, the monarchs become active again and begin to leave their roosts to fly back north. Shortly after, they become sexually mature and begin a 3 to 5 week period of intense mating activity. For the last 6 to 7 months, their maturity was repressed. This state is called diapause and increases the survivability among the migrating butterflies. Most of the monarchs will remain in this condition until the end of January. After mating, the overwintering generation lays eggs as it moves through northern Mexico and the southern United States, and then dies off. Although monarchs feed on many different plants, they lay eggs only on plants in the milkweed family, as they are the only plants that their caterpillars eat. After successful metamorphosis, the second generation continues the northward migration, laying eggs a few hundred kilometers north from where it was born. Unlike their parents, they sexually mature when they are only a few days old. Because the winter generation must live for 6 to 7 months before reproducing, the monarch population shrinks significantly, as many of the individuals die during the fall migration and the overwintering period. But due to the shorter reproductive cycle of the following generations, the population can recover. As a result, however, the northward migrating spring and summer monarchs each travel far less and live for only about 4 to 6 weeks before they lay eggs and die. This pattern is repeated for a few more generations, each moving northwards a little further until the final one reaches their summer habitat in northern North America in late May through July. There, they spend the warm summer months and reproduce one more time, before the shorter days, cooler air and milkweed aging in August trigger a change. The next generation will once again emerge from the eggs in reproductive diapause. Instead of reproducing in unfavorable conditions, they will spend the final weeks of the summer feeding on pollen and nectar, storing fat reserves to keep them alive during the approaching southern migration, which will complete the cycle. The painted lady in Europe makes its journey between the continents in similar stages, producing multiple generations throughout the migration. With a lifespan of only 4 weeks, each generation has only a small time window to make progress. Despite this, some individuals are traveling more than 4,000 kilometers before passing on the baton to their children. Still, much about the migration of butterflies and insects in general remains a mystery. Their small size and short life expectancy makes tracking them reliably extremely difficult. The astonishing migration of the painted ladies, for example, could only be uncovered in the last few years through the largest citizen science project ever conducted. More than 60,000 sightings from over 15 countries allowed researchers for the first time insight into one of the most incredible journeys in the animal kingdom that happens every year anew, unnoticed over our heads. Hey, now you might have noticed that I haven't uploaded in a while. The reason for this is that I was working on a new channel, but of course, as per usual, this took way longer than I had originally planned or expected, so yeah. But the good news is, now I have around 60 minutes of material that is mostly ready to be released. The first video is already out, which you can, if you want, watch now. It should be on the screen. And more videos will be released in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, go and watch the video if you like, and don't forget to subscribe to the new channel so you will get notified when new stuff is coming out. Thanks.